Well, hello and welcome to our Friday's live stream. This week we're going to concentrate on bringing spring into your life. 1st of March today, so a really good opportunity to introduce some spring colours and some vibrancy to your home or your office. I'm going to create a very loose style natural arrangement, something that anybody can put together with any variety of flowers. You can obviously make a smaller version for a slightly smaller environment, or a much larger version for perhaps an office reception or welcome area. Flowers always create a welcome, make people smile, and just give a really good feel-good factor. So welcome. Do let us know if you can hear us loud and clear by hitting that like button. Share us with your friends. Our recipe, I think, has already been published on our page, on the events page. So go and have a little check out with that. I'll run through the ingredients that we're going to use today. Sounding like a cookery program today.
It is indeed.
So we start off with this rather splendid vase here. This is a 40 by 20 centimetre cylinder vase, which we do sell on our website. They are $17.69 plus VAT each, so really good value. Very utilisable as well. You can do an arrangement in it, or you can actually do an arrangement actually contained within the cylinder, which we'll show you on another video sometime in the future. So that's our vase. We've also got flower food. I'm just using a little tiny sachet here, but you can buy the bolts of flower food, which obviously work out that little bit more economical. So just popping the flower food into the vase now. I also have, for my flower content, I have these absolutely stunning Amaryllis, a real treat for this time of the year. This one's a peach variety, and it's actually called Rillona. They come flat packed and dry in the boxes, and they can be kept dry for up to a week 10 days before they need cutting and developing. And while you keep them dry, they'll obviously stay in bud form, as you can see here in the box. They come with the stems quite dry, as you can see. So just literally cut the stem and pop them into your water. They don't need to be cut at an angle like most flowers do, because they are a hollow stem, so you can cut them directly across straight. Okay, so I'll just remove that. So that's our Amaryllis, Amaryllis Rillona. Then we have Salix Pussy Willow, sometimes known as Salix Willow Cats. So for those of you who like a tactile flower or arrangement, obviously the Pussy Willow, like little tiny buds of velvet, one of my favourites.
They dry quite nicely.
They do dry. They dry relatively successfully, but what you will find is when they dry, the actual stem itself goes quite black. The little grey fluffy bits stay quite true to colour, but the actual stem itself goes very black and quite brittle as well. We've also got randomly here some plant canes. I'll show you what those are for later. Then the other fresh products I've got are these absolutely scrummy French tulips. This particular tulip is called Menton. Now do keep an eye to our website and our Facebook page, because actually tulips are our flower of the month in March. So we are concentrating quite heavily on tulips and varieties. We have a tutorial coming out on how to care for them, look after them, and keep watching our posts, because we're going to concentrate on all the different varieties that are available. Okay, so that's our flower of the month for March, the tulip. We've also got some prunus here. Now this is pink prunus, although it's kind of difficult to tell at the moment, to be fair, but it will develop into a pink prunus. And lastly, but by no means least, we have some beautiful Salix Willow here. And this has got, because it's fresh, it's got the fantastic sort of almost terracotta coloured stems. Now if you are using Salix to create shapes, or you're making anything that requires quite a bit of manipulation, this is the time to buy your Salix, because as you can see, it's very malleable, and you can bend it to whatever shape that you want. If you leave it and purchase it later on in the season when it's dried, you don't stand a hope of snapping it and of bending it and moving it, because it will literally just snap.
So you could make things like wreaths, maybe
Hearts.
prepare for Christmas time.
Absolutely.
Hearts, yeah, for weddings and things like that. Really perfect time, really.
And if you're creating anything that's kind of got a rustic feel, where you're using moss, perhaps you're attaching moss onto something, similar to how I did for the mannequin last week, where I fixed the moss onto a metal frame, you can then reinforce that kind of rustic feel by bending willow around the moss as well and pinning that in. It gives a really nice texture and a nice feel. I think I've covered all of the ingredients.
You have.
Just to illustrate the colour palette that we've got today, we've selected a few ribbons that blend in quite well, and obviously that's the flower food as well. So I'm going to start with my willow. So our viewers are very quiet again today.
They are, but I might do a few shout outs.
Yeah, please do.
Let you know who's watching. So we have Lindsay, who says, "Good morning, I love spring."
Oh,
We've
so do
got
we, Lindsay.
Carolyn, who says, "Hello ladies, all such lovely people we are."
Oh, thank you.
Every time I phone for advice, you're all very helpful.
Oh, thank you.
We've got Joan, who says, "Good morning ladies." Tina,
Morning.
Tessa, Emma, who says that she's watching from cold Lincolnshire, and she's loves all of our tutorials, but it's the first time that she's joined us live, so that's exciting.
Oh, thank you.
We've got Tina saying a few other things. We've got Tessa, who's watching from Wirral, and Tina says you can put dried willow in the bath overnight or longer, and then it can bend.
Oh, okay, that's a useful
Willow
tip.
weaving.
All right, so even when it's in that dried state, you can bend it. That's a really interesting fact. Thanks for that.
Perfect.
We'll have to have a go.
We will.
Preferably
indeed.
when we've got out of the bath.
Yeah, that's true.
Might be a bit weird.
But that's the fantastic thing about these videos. It's a proven point, really, that it's a great platform for everyone to join in,
Absolutely.
share their knowledge. It's not just about us
Yeah,
kind of
dictating. No,
what you
definitely
do.
not.
It's a great
Definitely
platform
not.
to get involved, kind of share your knowledge as much as us, really.
And we love to hear your comments on what we've
Been up to.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, love to hear your comments on how you think the videos are going, how you've used them, and what you've created from them, and how helpful they've been or not, as the case may be. Which ones you've enjoyed and preferred. Yeah, all feedback very welcome, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So we started off by putting the natural salix into the vase, very simply. I'm going to use that as my frame. Next I'm going to add my pussy willow. I'm just going to cut the stems off that just to freshen it up a little bit. Now what you will find, especially with the natural salix, is once it's been in water for a little while, the little green shoots will actually start to develop, and it takes on a really pretty appearance when all the little green leaves start to appear. You'll also find you might start to develop roots. I don't know if I can show you. I might have just cut them off. No, here we go. So on this pussy willow here, you can see where it started to produce shoots. So you could try planting that. You never know, you might get success.
Absolutely.
Okay, so just cutting those stems off at an angle, as we always do. And
We've got some more lovely ladies who've
popping
joined us.
those
We've
in
got
next.
Alex. Oh God, Alice can't speak today. Anne and Jane.
Hi ladies, thank you for joining us. I hope you've been enjoying our tutorials. We had some good feedback on our mannequin last week, didn't we?
Absolutely, we very much enjoyed doing it ourselves as well.
We did, it was lovely, it was lovely. It's been sitting in our office for the last week. I have to say we've had some very interesting comments.
Absolutely. We've got lots of people commenting. Hello everyone. We've got
Excellent.
Caroline, who says she works from home and it's great to watch these live demonstrations with like-minded people. And also we've got Dawn, who's watching from, I can never say this one, Welwyn Garden.
Welwyn Garden City, yeah.
That one.
Lovely. Hi Dawn, welcome. Actually, that's quite a good point. When you are a home worker or you work from home and you work on your own, it can be quite lonely.
Yeah.
You know, you're sort of in solitude almost. So by having someone who's sprouting to you, talking to you like us, actually makes you feel like you've got a colleague possibly to work with. So hopefully that helps a bit, because it can be quite lonely when you're in a workshop on your own all day, every day, with only a radio as company. Right, so as you can see, I put the Pussy Willow in there now and the Salix Willow. I'm now going to add my Prunus. I'm not going to need all of this, I don't think. I'm just going to pop a couple of stems in just to continue working as a frame.
It's a good point maybe to say how differently it comes, Debs.
Oh, that's true.
Show the difference between this variety.
Okay, so from one extreme to the other possibly. I don't know if you can see me okay, tucked under this willow here. Okay, so this is the Prunus on a 60 centimetre, and this is a top grade one. So this is an A1 grade. This is a 40 centimetre Prunus and it's a BA grade. So that kind of illustrates just how different the two products are.
So you're always getting the whole branch with that one, aren't you?
You are.
There was a few bits in the bunch where you got a few.
It's done on a weighted basis, so you don't always necessarily, if you buy it by the bunch, this is kind of the format that you're going to get. If you buy it by the stem, you get kind of graded stems that are all of a similar length. Within this bunch, as you can see, we've got some slightly smaller stems, sort of offshoots almost really. I mean, there's no reason why you can't then pop those into a tiny little arrangement and just stand those beside the large one, just to create another little bit of added interest to your big arrangement. So yeah, I'm a great believer in when you purchase an entire bunch, you need to use the whole bunch.
So Tina, just to let you know that on the website, this Prunus is under Prunus Cherry Blossom Pink.
Yeah, there are other colours. There are white. I think that's just, we only do the white and the pink at the moment, don't we? There's a cream one, but I don't think that's available at the moment. Okay, let me just try and push that into there a bit easier.
Well, I think we've got an Italian lady on here. She says, when can you deliver to Italy?
Oh, if my boss can organise a weekend break, I'll come and bring them to you myself.
Absolutely.
Not sure that'll go down awfully well.
I've got a bit of a dangler around your face. Is there a chance we can cut that off?
No, we'll move him round.
We'll move him round,
There
I
you
know
go.
you like to hide behind the arrangement.
I try.
This time, I thought you'd be behind it completely. I was checking to see if you were.
Okay, so our beautiful Amaryllis. Now, what you'll notice with our Amaryllis is it is hollow, as you can see. So if you're putting Amaryllis into Oasis, the best thing to do is to actually fill the stem with water and then plug it and then pop it into Oasis. Having said that, once the blooms do fully open, they become quite top heavy. So to alleviate that, you can use one of our plant canes and literally just force that up the stem, and then that's going to support that flower and it's not going to bend or go anywhere. So if you're doing an Amaryllis topiary tree or something like that, I'd strongly recommend using the plant canes just to give that little bit of anchorage and a bit of support. I'm not actually going to need those in this arrangement today, but yeah, they're a really useful tool. So don't forget to let us know that you can hear us loud and clear by hitting that like button, and also don't forget to share us with your friends and let us know what you're up to as well, what flower arrangements you're creating this weekend and style, what events you've got coming up.
Absolutely. Now we're into March.
Yeah, March.
Outline flowers,
1st of March.
Fun.
1st of March indeed, yeah. What's that they say about March? In like a lion, out like a lamb. Actually, weather's not been too bad, has it?
Oh, up until now, it's raining outside.
Well, yeah, no, yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Sorry, Dave.
real downer. been enjoying the nice sunny weather though.
We have indeed.
So just placing the Amaryllis into the arrangement. So as you can see, this is a very natural, free-flowing, easy for you to say, free-flowing arrangement. It's not too structured. I'm just turning those around. Okay, my little sticky out bits back.
I'm telling you, you get whipped in the face by them.
A couple more taller ones in the middle there. Okay. So as I said, tulips are our flower of the month. And we are now going to place the tulips in this arrangement.
We haven't just got standard tulips, have we, Debs?
Oh no. Do we do standard? No, we don't.
Exactly.
We have, these particular little beasties are a French tulip. Now the French tulips do tend to be stronger, taller, kind of an upmarket version of your basic tulip really, aren't they?
Luxurious.
Yeah, they are. Much stronger, easier to work with, to be honest with you. If you're creating something that needs a little bit of height, you're best off going for the French tulips. I mean, they do grow them up to 1 metre in length, believe it or not, whereas your standard tulip comes to sort of 35 centimetres. You can see me as you go underneath.
It's got like a stick, that's all.
This is my nemesis, I think, that stick. Let me tuck him back in round that way so you can see me. There we go, mate. You go round that way. There we go. It's going to swing out and swack me in the ear in a minute, I think. So just cutting the tulips in and popping those into our arrangement. And
So
lovely tall
with
stems.
Tulips, you mentioned it in our first video of the tulips of the month.
Yeah.
Will they bend towards the light?
They will. They
will
are.
that aid this style of arrangement because you're not wiring them?
I'm not worrying. They are phototropic, which means they do bend to the light. They will basically just go upright, to be honest with you. When you're placing something vertical, it's going to stay relatively vertical. It's when you're using something that's horizontal and it's phototropic, it will actually bend upwards. So it should be okay with these ones, hopefully.
Perfect. So we do have a question from Lindsay. Lindsay loves spring, that's the lady.
Oh yeah.
She says, how do you stop the Amaryllis stems from, like, you know when they curl at the ends, how do you stop that?
You can't really.
No?
It's really difficult. In water, you won't be able to stop it as a cut flower. If you pop them into Oasis, it's not such a problem because they literally can't expand and curl up. But it's very similar to calla lilies. They do exactly the same thing. It's just a natural way the stem behaves, unfortunately. Although it does actually make for quite an interesting shape in the vase, if you like that sort of thing. So sorry, Lindsay, it's something you're not going to be able to prevent, I'm afraid. Adding the rest of these here tulips. We've also been doing some slightly different things recently on our website, haven't we? We've been introducing a very exciting mystery box, which has really taken off. People are loving it. And we've had some pictures back or photographs back of what people have created with their mystery boxes, and they've been amazing. Some really, really lovely ideas. So keep those coming. We've really enjoyed seeing what you've created with them. And it's as much of a mystery for us of what you get in your boxes as it is for you. We have one lady within the company who actually does most of the ordering for that, and she keeps it very much to herself. So it's a surprise for us as much as it is for you. So keep those comments coming, keep those pictures coming. We love to see what you've done.
Absolutely. So this week, what did we have in the fridge? So we had some rose amnesia go into the boxes. We had some pussy willow. those gorgeous chrysanthemum Rosanna Charlotte went into boxes. We put those on our Facebook yesterday, in fact.
They were scrummy.
Head over to our page and have a look at what they look like. They were gorgeous. What else have we had? We had some hydrangeas.
We had some clematis seed heads.
Seed heads.
Yeah, they were fantastic. Really fluffy looking, almost like old man's beard, really, weren't they? That give a fantastic texture to an arrangement. They were quite exciting. What else did we have in them?
It's just a great idea to maybe explore new varieties. If you are, say, a home florist and you don't have the kind of means to buy some extravagant flowers,
absolutely.
It's a great way to explore new varieties.
And especially if you're not variety or colour specific, so you don't have to have a certain colour or type of flower, then the mix box or the mystery box is perfect. It actually gets your juices flowing as well. It kind of gets you thinking about, oh, what can I create with that? So it gets you thinking out of the box, which is a really good thing. Because especially going back to the lady that works from home, if you don't get outside influencers helping you to choose different designs, helping you to think out of the box, for want of a better word, it's quite difficult. Sometimes your work gets static occasionally, which is not meant in a derogatory way at all, but you can't help but do the same thing when you don't get outside influences. So by having the mystery box come with some perhaps varieties you've not seen before, just gets you inspired, gets you doing different things.
Oh, and we've got Wendy who says she's waiting for her mystery box. She's very excited.
Enjoy, Wendy. Let us know what you create with it as well. Send some pictures over. We'd love to see what you've done.
Did see a question. Carolyn's asked a question. Where are you, Carolyn? Oh, I'm trying to make an arch around my door entrance. What type of foliage and flowers can stay out of water? When are you making the flower arch? Today? Or summertime?
I mean, soft ruscus is quite happy out of water for a period of time, foliage-wise. That would be my starting point. Flowers out of water for a period of time. Nothing's going to be entirely happy out of water for any period. Gypsophila would be okay kind of overnight. If you want something that's going to give you massive impact and you want to use something like a hydrangea, I would suggest putting them in the water files before you put them onto the arch, just so they have that water source. But yeah, difficult to give you an exact answer to that until I know exactly when you're doing it. And
next week.
Next week, okay. So I'd probably go with, I mean, the ideal way to do it would be to have the netted garlands in Oasis over the top of the arch, then arrange the foliage into that. Then you can do that 2 or 3 days before and you haven't got to worry because all of the foliage is still drinking. But if you're not having any kind of water source whatsoever, I would go with soft ruscus really to be on the safest bet. Then perhaps if you want a bit of extra texture, perhaps wind some asparagus plumosas through it, just so you've got that different texture.
Would pittosporum work? Does that work
Pittosporum,
quite well out of water?
yeah, that would be okay out of water, but not for longer than sort of 1 or 2 days really. Eucalyptus would be okay overnight, but it's going to start to go dry and very crispy. So yeah, hopefully that helps. Right, so going back to our arrangement here, I think we've finished. So a very rustic, very natural spring type arrangement. Once these beautiful Amaryllis open and the tulips open, obviously your colour impact will be greater. What I'll do is get Laura to take a picture of it when it's fully developed so you can see the before and after. So yeah. Well, I think that's all we've got to talk about today. It's short and sweet today. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you so much for joining us. We love to hear your feedback. Watch out for our videos on tulips coming up very soon for our flower of the month for March. And enjoy. Have a lovely weekend and thank you for joining us. We'll see you very soon.